Representative Josephson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me first say that I know that every member of the body, all 40 of us, want a safer and more just community. We all want safer and more just communities. And I know that every member, first and foremost, the sponsor from Big Lake, wants a more peaceful and more harmonious community where he lives. So I don't question anybody's motivation, and I think this is a good debate. There are two things that give me pause. The sponsor talked about innocent Alaskans. I absolutely agree that this could benefit innocent Alaskans. And in that respect, I think it's great. The problem I have with it is the folks that aren't innocent. In the law, we say they have a depraved heart. They've got a bad heart. And the other thing that the sponsor indicated, and it goes to the core of why I'm concerned about the bill, he said this will allow people to do something before it happens. And I thought, well, if it hasn't happened, then why are we doing anything? That's the concern I have. I'm just going to be another minute. I've cut this down 90%, I'm proud to say. Mr. Speaker, our current Commissioner of Natural Resources, when he was the first Attorney General for the Governor, wrote a letter and said, this is a really, really bad bill. His letter was not of mixed tone. He just really didn't like this bill. When the member from District 15, sorry, I'm from District 15. When the member from District 18, downtown Anchorage, my friend, asked Mr. Svobodny and pressed him and said, will this make it more difficult in our city of Anchorage where there are gangs and about 30 murders a year in Anchorage, about 30. Will it make it more difficult to prosecute those gang members? When pressed, Mr. Svobodny said, yes, Representative, it will. When I contacted my friend Jay Fayette, one of the best prosecutors in the state, and said, what do you think of it, Jay? He said, this is a bad bill, and all the prosecutors oppose this bill. I'm going to wrap up. Two things. He said, number one, it will be hard to prosecute gang violence. Number two, he talked about the problem with errant bullets. Errant bullets. Some people are just a bad aim. They just aren't good at it. And I'm worried about more bullets being shot and the innocent people in the background of the shooting scene, in a mall, for example, on a Christmas Eve day who are just shopping. And I don't think we've covered thoroughly enough what the liability might be to them. Because obviously they're innocent as well. So I just don't know that we can contain, even though I like the concept of stand your ground, I don't know that we can contain the flying metal. And that's why I'm concerned. And so I'm going to stick with law enforcement and vote no. Thank you.
And wrap up. Representative Newman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to address some of the issues that were brought up. First, from the member from District 15. I know it's confusing because I used to be District 15, and probably he could have been thinking about the former House bill, which was House Bill 381, which is what the former Attorney General had written about. And that's why we changed that bill. That's why we changed the language in there. We took out a lot of that other language that they disagreed with, and we created a bill that they do agree with. And in fact, we have a letter from the current Attorney General that talked about some of the issues that were brought up by Mr. Fayette. It was mentioned by the member from District 15. And Mr. Speaker, just briefly, if I could just read, because I don't want to mischaracterize. Our Chief Justice for the State of Alaska, our Attorney General, said that we acknowledge that this may complicate certain prosecutions, and we appreciate the sensitivity to this factor as a former prosecutor, but in the final analysis, the rights of citizens to defend themselves both inside and outside of their home, should not rest on the convenience of prosecutors. Notwithstanding Mr. Fayette's anecdotal evidence, we are not convinced that the perpetrators of those crimes he described would have gone free had the law been in effect. And the fact that defendants may attempt to take advantage of the law once it's on the books should not dissuade us from enacting laws that protect the citizens' right to legitimate self-defense outside their home.
If you have a clear focus on this bill and know how you're going to vote, I'm envious. Because and this is, you know, I've been in the body for a while and I've heard this bill before and I voted on it before, and I've always had questions, and every time I think about it, I can come up with an example that runs one way or the other. It's not a Second Amendment bill. It's not about guns. It's about self-defense. And I think in the world of things that we should do and issues that people talk to us about, we should talk about things that are clear, things that are focused, and we know what the outcome is. This doesn't do that. I wish it did. There are, you know, when I talk about lawyers and the prosecutors and the defense attorneys, you know, some days we want to put the power in the prosecutor's hands. Some days we want to we trash defense attorneys because of all the loopholes they create, and they walk their clients through and get guilty people off that shouldn't be, get innocent people off that should get off as well. I'm not sure this focuses what we want to do. I'm not sure this meets the litmus test of doing the right thing. Most of the emails that I have gotten on this and communication, people say they don't have the ability for self-defense, to defend themselves and their families. They clearly do. That's not what this is about. This is about standing your ground, and maybe self-defense is what it says. But at the end of the day, I'm concerned that we're not clarifying and making a sharper focus on what we want the rights of people to do, because I'm not sure we're doing that here. Between the First Amendment, the previous amendment, we didn't have a Second Amendment on this bill. We only had First. I'm not sure we're doing what the people actually want as a general broad category of focusing what it is we want to accomplish. We're giving more to the defense attorneys than to the prosecutors. And I'm scheduled to be on jury duty in May. I'm one of those people that get jury duty every 2 years. I used to get excused, but now I look forward to it, actually. Don't know what's... And I think about the discussion and the instructions to the jury, and sometimes how confusing that is. I'm not sure that this clarifies anything or gives anybody a right that they need more than they already have. Sometimes we've heard examples of people that felt that they were in imminent danger. They always have a right to defend themselves, and that's really what's important, and that's in place. This additional change of language just muddies the water, and I wish I mean, I've supported it in the past, but I've been asking myself the question, what exactly are we doing here? And I know we're enforcing the stand your ground, and I know often as not, you know, most of us are thinking about the weapon at issue as a gun, but it could be a baseball bat, a lead pipe, a knife. Could be situations that we know nothing about. The nuances of every trial is unique. What the minds are of the defendants and the people that committed the crimes are, from the innocent to the guilty. I don't think we're clearing this issue up at all. I don't think we're playing the game we're supposed to do here, and that is making things smart, definitive, and focused. And that's a concern. That's a real concern for me. I mean, from the first time I've heard this bill to now, the definitions are not more focused. The examples are still both ways. just as in the previous amendment, thinking about things, all the different situations. Some of them are right, some of them are bad, some of them you want to happen, some of them you don't. But I haven't seen where we have is broken. And if it's not broken, don't fix it.
My friend from District 38, and welcome back. David, I'm glad to see you here. Had questions about, we're not sure what this bill does. Well, what we're trying to do, Mr. Speaker, is clarify. In Alaska statutes, that if you're an innocent Alaskan and you feel that your rights, that you're being physically assaulted, that you have the right to protect yourself. Let's make that very clear in our statutes. Wherever you are. If you're in your home and an invader comes into your home, are you supposed to, you know, if we had to do a retreat, maybe go hide in your bedroom? That's not what it says. It says you have the right to defend yourself in your home. Why shouldn't you carry those rights anywhere you have a right to be and make that clear? Mr. Speaker, we're trying to protect the rights of innocent Alaskans. As I said earlier, they're being assaulted by criminals. They're just minding their business. They want to protect their families. We need to make sure that they're very clear in that split second that they have to make that decision to protect their rights for their family, that they have the right to do that, that they have the right to use deadly force in any place that they have a right to be, to protect themselves and their families. And I ask for your support.
You ready for the question? Question is, shall committee substitute for House Bill 24 Judiciary pass the House? Members may proceed to vote. Clerk, please lock the roll. Does any member wish to change his or her vote? Clerk, please announce the vote.
33 yeas, 5 nays.
On a vote of 33 yeas, 5 nays, committee substitute for House Bill 24 Judiciary has passed the House.